Hello, dear Virgo. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your April 2021 horoscope. And I do hope that you found March to be sweet and gentle, yet I'm sure it was a little nebulous with all the Piscean energy at times. So here we are in the month of April, coming off of a full moon in Libra, which was probably very powerful for all of us because we had the sun, Chiron, and Venus all canoodling and opposing Libra moon at 8 degrees. So if you watched my celestial wisdom video, you most likely had some indication of what the ending of March was bringing and the beginning of April. So here we have April 3rd, Mercury moving into Aries, just as the sun is also had moved into Aries on the 20th of March. And so we have this impact, this now communicative and thought-provoking energy in your 8th house. So you had the 8th house energized by the sun in Aries. Now here comes Mercury, helping you get really crystal clear in your mind and having the courage to be able to go even deeper into any issues that you may be working with that are in relationship to the 8th house, which has a lot to do with death, transitions, inheritance. It has to do with joint resources, other gaining resources through others. And so most likely the energy here is going to have you thinking about how you can find more resources from others, how you can leverage them in order to integrate deeper some of the things that you want most in your life. So there may be certain subject matters that you're going to investigate. And now you have the sharp mindset in order to acquire the information and maybe push yourself or challenge yourself a little bit more to really stick with learning about this. And it could be that the subject matter is a little off color, a little taboo, maybe a little mysterious, maybe involving like the occult, which the occult is basically hidden mystery. It's not necessarily evil or satanic, even though you could be attracted to that darker side because I'll talk about it, but you've had Venus sitting in your 8th house and she will move into your 9th house on the 14th, but I'll talk about that and I'll get to that in a minute. But you may have been attracted to some of these hidden taboo kind of mysterious subject matters and maybe some people who activated that for you. And now with Mercury being in your 8th house, it's going to energize you even more to go deeper into learning about it or acquiring more information around it. You also could have the courage to talk to your partner or talk to partnerships that encourage you to speak up, to make decisions that are very quick and impulsive, especially about how resources are being used. Maybe you are working with somebody that you have free reign of, say, their budget, and they're commissioning you to go and, book hotel rooms for them or flights or whatever. And so you're the one who's in charge of spending their money. And it's possible that they may be asking you for money as well. But either way, I would imagine that this is most likely going to activate a deeper learning for you. It also has an emphasis of taxes. We're in the middle of tax season here in the US. So if you're outside of the US and your tax time is a little different, then your emphasis may be on where you need to withhold taxes or maybe where you need to spend money on paying taxes. It also indicates inheritance here and investment. So you may be taking a test that allows you to be a stockbroker, or this is a great time also to wrap up and to take charge or action with maybe an inheritance or a estate that you're dealing with. This also could end up being where you become like a counselor, where you're maybe not effectively listening as deeply as you could, but you are offering your opinions, your views, you're giving some really good challenges to somebody else's thinking. So this is a wonderful chance for you to be able to share your ideas and opinions with others that could be of benefit for unearthing deeper truths or deeper meanings for themselves. and they'll pay you for it, right? So then it's going to be doubly activated with the new moon in Aries on the 11th. So you're going to have the sun canoodling with the moon. Mercury will be close by. And this happens before Venus leaves your 8th house. So you most likely will have this instinct of taking care of others and taking care of their resources that you're in charge of. There may be a strong desire for intimate relationships or to bond with somebody in a deeper way. And so this new moon could have you thinking about, how can I deepen the connection I have and feel for somebody? How can I deepen the attraction and the way in which I nurture my own needs in relationship? This is a great time to start a new relationship if you're looking for one. So get out there and connect. It may be possible, especially because of this being in the 8th house, that when you do it, you may keep it close to your chest for a while. You may really nurture that relationship internally or just between the two of you before you share it with others, because you're going to want to make sure it's like a newborn, the new relationship. You sort of want to protect it for a while. That will be doubly emphasized when Mars moves into Cancer later in the month, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I want to talk about Venus, as I mentioned earlier, moving into Taurus on the 14th, so soon after this new moon, and it's moving into your 9th house. So Venus, our planet of love, beauty, harmony, relationships, art, finances, moving into this 9th house, you could be attracting. Venus is about attraction, Mars is about separation, or penetration, and Venus is attracting and harmonizing maybe people or opinions or philosophies from different cultures or backgrounds. I would imagine that you may be working with others and learning from a higher perspective, a higher level that helps to shape some philosophy for you about diversity or about a foreign culture, or learning more about a subject matter that expands your knowledge. And it's because of the connections with these other people that allow you to do that. I would imagine that you also could be attracting a diverse group of people. So I think of somebody in graduate school, like my daughter, who is working and she's online, which is, she has students in grad school from all over the country, and I believe one that's out of the country as well. So that's a good example of the Sagittarian as well as 9th house energy. And she is connecting with a group and does study groups, or she's in charge of one. So I'm bringing that in for you, Virgo, as a example of what could happen. Now, it can show up in work, of course, where at work you are now broadening or expanding your reach as far as how your work impacts others and maybe educates others. There's a good indication that if you have something that is tangible, that you've been studying and you've been researching for a while, that now you want to share with others, you may teach it or you may launch it. You could even travel, start to get paid for traveling to share what you've learned, to share your knowledge. You could find interest in trying new foods as well, because Venus and Taurus does love to have food and comforts and sensuality around. And it may be that you're like, I'm going to try Mediterranean food, or I'm going to try Indian food, or whatever, something that you're not normally used to, as a way of expressing this Venus and Taurus energy in that 9th house. You also might get involved, for some of you who have a religious mindset, you get involved with missions, where you're actually going to other countries or you're going to other places and you're educating others on what your belief system is. So then April 19th, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus as well, so doubly activating your 9th house, and then the sun energizing your 9th house as it moves into Taurus on the 20th. So there's more indication of spreading this good news, spreading the word about something you've educated or taught yourself, and now you're ready to share it with others. There is an indication here that you'll be collaborating and you'll want to share it on a group level, because now I'm going to point to Mars being in Cancer, and that's going to be in your 11th house, which has to do with groups and friendships and things like that. So you may find that the second half of April, you're looking for your tribe that you want to share this next level of understanding that you have. You may decide that now's the time to start graduate school or to gain that next level of certification as well. So So you will most likely have the resources you need in order to pay for these things. But remember that eighth house has been active. And so it may be that you have these resources now because of what others have given you, or because you have inherited something that you're able to offer or use. Keep in mind too, that we have a full moon in Scorpio at the end of the month, which I'll indicate about inheritance, a further indication of inheritance, but in a different way. But first, the Mars and Cancer energy, 11th house, you may be very protective of your friendships or the groups that you belong to. So if there's a friendship that other people may see as odd or a little out there, or maybe you've complained about it and you've shared some of your challenges, you could have others saying, well, why are you still friends with them? And it will challenge you a little bit. However, most likely it will bring out that protective side of you that says, wait a minute, this is my relationship and this is my friendship. And even though we're at challenging times, we also have a history, we have a deep emotional connection. And, you know, there may be a little bit of codependency. So I'm going to blend the full moon of Scorpio in there. If there's a relationship, especially with a group or a friendship that has felt codependent, most likely you'll let that go, or you'll transform, because that's what Scorpio energy is about. You'll transform the nature of the relationship. Even if you don't let the relationship go, you may pull back from what has created that codependency. So the other thing with the Mars in Cancer in your 11th house, it's a great place for playing sports, especially in a team environment. So if you're looking for a way to enhance maybe your playtime or you're enhancing your health, then, you know, if you're not already involved with some sort of team sport, then getting involved with one would be great. Those of you who work in the industry could find that team sports, friendly competition, things like that can expand your groups, your social setting, as well as being able to offer you an opportunity to have some wishes and dreams fulfilled. On a practical level, if you're looking to connect deeper with your friends or with a group, you know, something as simple as playing a board game or coming together for a common vision, common cause, can also bring a deeper sense of connection, as well as, you know, there's some like-mindedness, but it's really about like heart. And so coming together for a common cause, it's possible if you don't belong to a group already, you may join one during this time, but they've got to align with something that you're willing to sort of fight for, die on the cross, die on the hill, as they say, you know. So you have to really suss out what is true. Trust your intuition on this. What does this group or these people line up with what my intuitive nature is feeling is in alignment. One other thing you have to watch out for during this time is bossiness. So if you're the boss, you could come across a little too manipulative, a little too bossy, maybe passive aggressive, or you're on the receiving end of that with somebody in authority, somebody who has placed themselves in a position that says, well, I'm the leader of this group, therefore you have to do it my way. Again, it's going to set things up for this Scorpio full moon at the end of the month, the 26th, 27th, and that will fall into your third house. So communicating that, sensing it, feeling it, and then communicating what is really happening, that could lead to letting things go or transforming the way in which you relate to others in this group or even to yourself. Now, this full moon could also find you feeling really at home when you are learning something. Being in this third house, you want to be in a place that feels like it's a classroom, but it's a nurturing classroom. It's one that also may bring more attention to your intimate relationships and how the communication flows within them. So whether it's personal or professional, you may need more communication. And if not, you may let the relationship transition because you're not getting what you need out of it. And likewise, you may be asked to speak in this group or in this connection that you have where you share your knowledge. So another theme around the month of April of sharing what you have learned, what means most to you, and then you've done the research. So if you have a presentation or if you're speaking in public and you're feeling a little nervous, use the first part of April to really prepare. Get the PowerPoint presentation or get the whiteboard or however you like to present yourself. Put something artful together. Virgo's very creative. So let that creative juice come out. And offer that to others as a way of feeling not only knowledgeable, but your confidence level will be at an all-time high. And then others will see you as somebody they can come to, where they can trust, and your authentic voice shines through here. And you're able to nurture, because this is a full moon, you're able to nurture others through your words, because you may reveal a truth or activate a truth that gets realized by them because of what you're presenting or what you say. Keep in mind too that you could release some sort of anger, bitterness, resentment, whatever that you hold on to, which is great. Forgiveness goes a long way, especially during a Scorpio full moon. And this could be some childhood stuff that has come up, maybe some old wounding around the way in which you learned, or maybe some childhood friendships or siblings, that sort of thing. A close friend or family member could trigger some of that deeper healing that needs to take place. But here's the gift of a Scorpio full moon, and I'll talk more about it in detail on my Celestial Wisdom video for that week when it comes up. But for you, Virgo, what it can do is it can allow you to transform any feelings of disingenuousness or any feelings of not good enough, or not feeling as though you have all the answers or you understand something at a very deep level, that it's okay to not know everything, that it's okay to not be perfect at everything, that you just don't know what you don't know. So there, a lot of really good self-forgiveness can come into play during this Scorpio full moon. And that leads you to greater confidence, it leads you to greater joy and greater manifestation of your hopes and dreams. All right, Virgo, I certainly hope that this video helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and find me at jamiedawn.com. Have such a good month.